Whoa, is that supposed to happen?
Hi, Dale coming to you on site at our build of our new house on this cold and windy 36-degree day, but yesterday it was even colder at 32 degrees. Our house is going to be on a slab, and yesterday it took about 140 yards of concrete, but we finally got our slab and foundation poured. I wanted to show you how they did this because I think some things may surprise you. I was quite fascinated and very impressed at how these guys did the job. Let me show you how they did it. Come on, let's go.
Several days ago, the entire footprint of the house has been laid out and wood forms and footings have been put in place and leveled out. All plumbing and electrical that will be going in under the slab have been put in place, as well as all areas that will need footers are dug out and marked. Last thing to go in was the vapor barrier, and we are now ready to get started pouring our monolithic slab. Folks, like I said, the day of the pour was quite cold. It was actually about 29 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit at the beginning of the day. The team was here since before the sun came up. The ground is pretty muddy as we had rain last night, so while this is an exciting day for me and my family, it's also going to be a really cold and messy one. Right now, the concrete truck is getting ready to start pouring into the pump truck. I've been informed that as soon as the concrete is ready, they'll give a short honk on the horn, and then the fun will shift into high gear. They were not joking. A short and soft honk from the concrete truck, and 6 grown men immediately jumped up and very quickly sprang into action. I was standing by the fire talking to one of the workers, and 2 seconds after that short and soft honk, I was standing by the fire talking to myself. By the time I was able to move into position to start recording some video from my phone, they had already finished pouring the footer for the back garage wall, and I hadn't even tapped record yet. Because of the grade, this portion of the footer, which is the side wall to the garage, is getting an extra deep footer as well as a wing wall. Here in Georgia, we don't get extreme cold, so we don't have to go too deep to get below the frost line, but this section is a good couple of feet or even a bit more. The thing that I found most fascinating about this entire pour was how everyone knew exactly where they were supposed to be, what they were supposed to do, and when they were supposed to do it. It truly was like a choreographed dance. That doesn't just mean the guys doing the pour either, but the trucks as well. I don't remember how many trucks it took, something like 13 to 16 of them, not sure, but they had it timed so that when one truck was nearing empty, a full truck was arriving and getting into place. The freshly empty truck would get washed out, return to the concrete company, fill up, and at the correct time be back in queue as the next truck was about to go empty. It amazes me even still today every time I think back about it. It was really, really cool. By the way, the sun still has not completely risen, and it is still really cold, so I make frequent stops by the natural heater. Also, in summer here in Georgia, they will often spray water on the pour to slow down the setting because of the heat. With it being so cold, it is the opposite, so I asked the foreman about this.
I'm here with the lead pouring the foundation. Can you tell me a little bit about how you're pouring the foundations around the edge?
Well, what we got to do first is we got to set the footings around, get that done. We're running 2% calcium. That speeds the process up of the calcium for the concrete to harden up quicker. And then time we get done started on the slab, then the footings will be all set up. They'll be hardened up, ready to go.
So there you have it, calcium. It's not just good for your bones. Let me know down in the comments if you knew that trick of adding calcium to concrete to speed the curing time. I had no idea. Another truck emptied, another truck moving into place and feeding the pump truck, like a well-oiled machine. Here's a short look at that dance I'm talking about. See how there's always 1 or 2 guys just ahead of the pour with the shovels, rotating in position, tossing the dirt to hold the concrete in place right at the same time the concrete is going in. Then there's always 1 or 2 guys trailing the pour, filling in any missed gaps to keep the concrete from seeping out. They did this non-stop the entire perimeter pour. Well, the sun is completely up now, and we have already reached our high for the day at a toasty 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I know, some of you, that is a toasty spring day, but not for me. The complete perimeter footings are now poured and the team is moving to the interior. What is cool is they still continue their dance. As some of the team continues to pour, the others begin to smooth out and level the concrete that has already been poured. I think smoothing out the concrete is called screeding, but I'm not sure. What is really cool is how they just seem to interchange their positions without even speaking. Guys that are smoothing will jump over and help pour, and the guys that are pouring and shoveling will jump over and start smoothing. I wanted to show a close-up of this. I believe this tool is called a float. The cool thing is not that it's just on a super long handle, but there is a lever the worker can move back and forth to tilt the float forwards and backwards. When pushing the float, he moves the lever so that the front side of the float tilts up. When pulling it back, he moves the lever so the back side of the float tilts up. This allows the tool to float over the concrete and smooth it out rather than digging it into the concrete. Pretty cool. Well, at least I think so. Everything is poured now and the concrete trucks are gone. Now the team moves to putting in expansion joints by hand to our front porch and back patio. Along with that, they round over by hand all the edges of the entire slab. I felt really bad for their backs, but I'm sure they're pretty used to this. There are also many places where they can only smooth out the concrete by hand. Another thing that I think is really cool is that only a few hours after pouring, they're actually able to walk on the slab. I thought it would be a no one go on this for a couple days, but nope. They were walking on it and using that cool fan blade toolie thingy to smooth out the slab. If you know what that tool is called, let me know in the comments below. Here's just a few more seconds of them finishing up the pour. I'm told they will remove the forms in a few days.
The pour is a full 24 hours old. We should start framing in about 7 to 10 days, and when that happens, it's really going to kick into high gear. We're standing in what's going to be Eric's dining room. Eric, what's it feel like having the foundation poured on what's going to be your very own apartment?
I am excited.
And Eric, how do you feel about having to pay rent on your very own apartment?
Rent? What is this rent you speak of?
If you have any questions or comments, put those in the comment section below. I read and answer every one of those. If you feel I earned it, please subscribe. And if you think this will help anyone else, share the video. That helps my channel grow more than you think it does. Until next time, see ya.